So you want to buy a Switch, and for some strange reason, 4 years in, you don't already have one, or you have an existing model that's starting to fall apart on you. You heard about this new OLED Switch, and you're asking yourself, should I upgrade? Should I get this one? Should I just get the current model? Is it worth the upgrade? Is there going to be a Pro down the line? If any of these apply to you, then this is your video. Now let's get into it. Is there still going to be a Pro model? Now, I think it goes without saying, but for sure not this year, if there is going to be one at all. If there is going to be an internally beefed up Switch, I think it's most likely it'll come out in like a 2-ish year time frame. Specifically because if you look at Nintendo's history with the Switch, that's kind of what they've been doing already. You have the original model in 2017, you have the Switch Lite in 2019 along with the upgraded battery version, and then now you have this new OLED in 2021. It may be hard for them to get those chips, and that's part of the reason why this OLED model didn't have any of those upgraded internals. I think the main signal or indicator that a new model is going to come out is going to be the prices. So you'll want to keep an eye out for the prices, because currently with the new OLED model being at $349, I don't see them releasing a new Switch at like $400. I mean, I guess it's possible, it's Nintendo, but I highly doubt it. Maybe a year from now they're going to phase out the original model. The OLED's going to fill that place at $300. Then that's the kind of conditions you're going to need to have for a Pro version to come out, if it comes out at all. Putting those rumors aside and actually focusing on what we know is real, the first question I would ask is, are you going to be using this Switch exclusively docked? If the answer is yes, then this is the easiest one. Just get a regular Switch. There's no point in getting the OLED. Most of those upgrades are in regards to tabletop and handheld mode, so that's an easy one. Now the next question is, are you going to be using the Switch exclusively handheld? If you're using the Switch only in handheld mode, then there's only one option. Get the Lite. It's almost half the price of this new OLED model. It has all the same functionality. You give up a couple things like the rumble. It's a little bit of a smaller screen, but you have the higher pixel density, and it actually feels a lot better in the hands. It's more durable, so if it's for kids, that's definitely a thing to consider as well. So to those of you who primarily play handheld or even tabletop, but at least want the option to do dock mode, then I actually do think waiting for this OLED model will be worth it. There's enough quality life improvements for that $50 difference that I think it would totally be worth waiting. Now obviously it would have been nicer if the new OLED model was $300 and just replaced it, but considering they're not doing that, I think it's still a good value for what you're getting. I mean, you're getting a much better kickstand, you're getting a much better screen. That's a huge improvement. I mean, I think that's worth the $50 alone, but if you're not really into screens and it doesn't really do much for you, I mean, you have a little bit of a better audio quality, you have double the storage. Now, again, it's $350, so if you can afford it, go for it. But if not, then I'd probably still go the regular Switch route, because, you know, even though it's not the new fancy thing, it's still a great, you know, piece of hardware. No one's complaining that it sucks. Obviously, there's the elephant in the room. It's not more powerful. It's the same as all the other models. And that's, I mean, it still sucks. Like, yeah, it would be nice if it was more powerful, and I think that they really do need to address that, at least eventually. A lot of games are struggling on this console, and it'd be nice if we could just get a power bump, even if it's not even 4K. Like, forget 4K, just a better 1080p experience. That'd be awesome. But when you take those expectations and put them aside, like, this is a really good console, and there are a lot of welcome improvements with this new version. With this new price point, it's going to make it easier for them to actually supply what is being demanded, because a lot of people are still going to buy the regular Switch. So to kind of recap, if you only play handheld, I think you should just get the Lite. You're getting the best bang for your buck, and it's actually the best handheld experience, even with these new improvements. If you only use docked, then obviously just get the regular Switch. There's no point in spending extra money and trying to fight people to get this new one that's not even any different on your TV. Now, where it gets a little trickier, as I mentioned, is if you do kind of a hybrid of both. I think if you're mostly playing dock, then I think I'd still get the regular model, but it's kind of up to you if you want to swing that $50 difference. If you're primarily playing handheld and you can swing that $50, I'd for sure recommend it. Because as I mentioned, you're getting enough improvements for that $50. Obviously, all this is to say that there could be a Pro in the future, but I just don't think there's going to be one anytime soon. We'll have to wait and find out. Nintendo's a bit of a wild card when it comes to these things, but they're really not that unpredictable if you look at their history. Now hopefully this video gave you at least a little bit of guidance in trying to help you make a decision. Nothing I'm saying is really news, but at least maybe it'll give you some perspective on what it is you actually want if you're in the market for a new Switch. So again, if you haven't bought one yet, these are some things to consider. Or if you're just kind of on the fence, you're like me, you have an original model and you're like, maybe I'll get it? I don't know. I might just end up getting it to review it. No matter what you decide, they're all awesome consoles. I want to hear from you in the comment section below, so let me know what your thoughts are. And if you like what you see, feel free to leave a like. And I appreciate you for watching. Till next time, see ya!